Hey everybody, this is Casey and you're hanging out with me on Penn's Peak Radio on the Wall to Wall Country Show where we play nothing but country. Now we play all the different segments of country, whether it's classic country, new hot country, bebop and country, rock country, and we also throw in a little outlaw country too, dedicated to some of those great outlaw artists of days gone by. And some people may think that maybe it's dead and gone, but there are some artists out there who are reviving it a little bit and kind of bringing that outlaw country sound, mixing it up with some newer flavor. And I'm so excited to have on board today on the show, as we do this each and every week, a great artist that has got some stuff in his pocket, but he's coming out with some new stuff, and we want to make sure that you're well aware of this guy as he's out there doing some new stuff. Please make welcome to the show, Mr. Boo Ray. Hey, Boo Ray, how you doing?
Hey, great, Casey. Thanks a ton for having me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. We're always open for country artists on the show, Wall to Wall Country. And, you're very different from a lot of my other artists. So what I'd first like to do is kind of step back a little bit and give us a little background of Boo Ray, kind of where you hail from, what you've done in the past that has led you up to where we're at right now in today's world.
Sure. Well, I grew up in the mountains of western North Carolina, just across the Tennessee line. Actually a couple hours east. A couple hours west of Asheville, North Carolina. So right there in the corner of the state, up in the mountains. And as far as getting solidified and solid in the business as a songwriter, I had wandered out to Los Angeles and was living out there in 05 or 06, and I got a gig working for the Magic Fashion Show playing guitar. And at the end of the week, I hit the craps table for $14,000, and there was a couple of Nashville publishers standing right there next to me, and they hit the table real big too on my roles. And they started flying me to Nashville on songwriting appointments, and that's how it all started.
Wow, that's crazy. That is definitely a different story than most.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So,
I love all my Pennsylvania friends too. We came through there on radio tour, ran up the Lehigh Valley and everything. It's beautiful up there.
Yeah, man. We're about 45 minutes north up towards the Poconos, and we're parked at the top of a mountain up here, so it's kind of beautiful up here. So next time you're in town, I always open up the doors to the Penn's Peak Radio studios. All my artists are always welcome to kind of bebop in, let me know you're coming, and we'll get you on the air. That'd be fun.
We'll definitely let you know when we're coming through next time.
All right, that sounds awesome. But Boo Ray, let's talk about now. The album we're going to talk about is actually your fifth album. And reading your bio and finding out a little bit about you, this album is very, very special to you. You want to give us a little bit of why this album is a little bit different and set apart from some of the other stuff that you've done in the past?
Sure. I had been working with those guys out in Los Angeles who I just lucked out and fell in with them, and they dug what I was doing, and I started hanging out with them, and we did some recordings. So I started hanging out with them in like 05, and we did a couple recordings here and there, but I didn't have the capability to finish recordings and get everything mastered and everything at that point. But we had a couple recordings floating around, and we always, producer Noah Shane from the get-go had decided that he's like, man, this sound that you've got, this kind of music needs to be recorded straight to tape. And so all these years we've been aiming at making a live band tape record. And Noah, just a few months ago, or a year ago or so, acquired the Ampex 2-inch tape machine from Quonset Hut Studio in Nashville that recorded Dylan's Nashville Skyline and all the Nashville era Johnny Cash records.
Wow.
He gave me a call and said, "Hey man, get out here and I'm ready to do a record on you." So nice. I put it up. I put all everything I had in the bag and went out there and made a record with it.
That's awesome. Now, is the full album out is the whole thing out there for people to get their hands on?
It is. The Sea of Lights record is out on all the usual streaming venues, and it's also fixing to come out on vinyl. I don't know. It's not going to be long now. It's just a few months out. 90 days, 4 months, something like that. It'll come out on vinyl.
And I'm
really excited about that.
Yeah, I would be too, and I think artists. I've had multiple artists say that they are turning some of their projects into vinyl, and I just think that's really cool. I think I realize it's an expense, and I realize, it's like, well, it's on the electronics. Everybody wants it like right now, and it's easier that way and stuff. But I think certain things really deserve to go back to vinyl, and I'm glad to hear that Sea of Lights, which of course is the title of the album, is going to be out there in vinyl, and people can get their hands on it. Let me ask you this question. There's a bunch of songs on here. Did you write all the songs on the Sea of Lights album?
There's a couple of covers on there. Let's see, on Sea of Lights, there's one interesting cover that I'm really pretty proud of the remake that we did with it. You know the band Hot Chocolate sang "I Believe in Miracles"?
Yeah.
We covered a B-side track off a Hot Chocolate album.
Wow.
And it's the song Emmeline on Sea of Lights. And I really like the way that came out. And then also on Sea of Lights is a Hayes Carl Ray Wiley Hubbard song called Chickens.
Okay.
So that's the two covers on there. And then I kind of have a group of guys that I co-write with that are on that. My buddy Travis Porterfield wrote a tune or two with me on that record. And then the Bad News Travels Fast was the title track to a record a few years ago, and that was a wonderful co-write with the great Canadian musician Colin Linden, who is first of all just a great guy and a great musician, but he's kind of T-Bone Burnett's right-hand man. He worked on "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" and all that stuff.
Nice. There's 10 songs, right, on this album?
Yeah.
Okay. You got 10 songs on there, and I see, you're talking about Chickens, which is number 5, Bad News Travels Fast, which is number 3, Emmeline is number 8. But let's talk a little bit about that title track, because I think that's one that I'd like to feature during the interview here and let people give it a listen. Did you write Sea of Lights?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I wrote Sea of Lights. That song was just sort of the culmination of the making of the record and the whole process. At the particular time that I got the call from Noah to come make the record, I was in a fairly bit of a pickle, and I had to leave a vehicle on the side of the road outside of Knoxville because it just died, and I had a number of issues at that point in time. And I got that call from Noah, and right after I got the call from Noah, a publishing deal went through, and I was able to pull the trigger and go make the record. So that's sort of what the Sea of Lights is, kind of an ode to Los Angeles, and I guess it's kind of about continuing to go for broke when there's when it all looks black and it doesn't seem like anything's going to work out.
Well, and I listened to it, and I thought the first word that kind of came to my mind, it's very soulful. I mean, it's got feel to it. It's definitely something that people might be able to listen to and relate to and be able to go, man, that guy's telling the story of my life. Are you getting feedback off the song Sea of Lights similar to that, or are they getting a different feel from it?
No, it is a big, broad thing. People are coming up to us and telling us, I mean, like you mentioned, we couldn't be happier about the support we get from the outlaw country fans and embracing us and digging what we do. I mean, I consider that my home base. That's who I'm aiming to please right there. That crowd of high-level songwriter aficionados and guitar picker aficionados. But we get a cool response across the board from people saying, "Man, I don't even like country music, but I like what you do."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's definitely not. I mean, it's definitely not new modern country. I mean, those guys that are doing that, which is fine, and they're fine with what they're doing and stuff. But your stuff definitely has that a little bit more grit, a little bit more, maybe soul. And I have to say, when I listened to all the tracks, the one that I think kind of got my ear a little bit too was the one that we've mentioned a few times, and I want to air this one too near the end of the interview. Bad News Travels Fast.
Yeah.
For me,
cool. Yeah.
That one had more almost like a bluegrass feel, like all the picking and the steel and all that. I mean, I closed my eyes, and that's kind of where it took me into that bluegrass realm of country.
Yeah. Richie Owens' dad, and Richie Owens is an East Nashville fixture musician, and he's a cousin of Dolly Parton's, East Tennessee boy, and he was he was Dolly's band leader in the heyday, and his dad is a wonderful old school bluegrass picker. And his dad told me, he said, "Boy, you got that Blue Ridge sound," and I always took that as a wonderful compliment from him.
Mm-hmm. Well, that particular song definitely's got that wonderful feel to it, and I loved it. I loved that one a lot. So, Boo-Ray, now I also know that you've got videos out for most of these, and they look pretty official. You've got a lot of official videos out for some of the tunes that you guys have been doing.
Yeah. I've got a great cast of collaborators. My good friend, we're basically Athens, Georgia buddies. Todd Supre has become. He's kind of like me. We just been in here in the trenches doing the thing all this time, and Todd's been a filmmaker the entire time I've known him. He's made independent films. He's made big rap videos and stuff like that. When we were both running around down in Atlanta, he made some gangster rap videos, and he's made some really beautiful artistic short films and stuff like that. Then he went out to Los Angeles, completely separate and uninformed with me and my being out there. He went out there after I went out there. And he's been working in the production business and just become just a really strong, great videographer and filmmaker. And so, having the great asset of our friendship that turns into those videos. We have fun. The Redneck Rock and Roll video is basically an homage to the car wash scene in the movie Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I watched them. I watched all of them. I like them all,
Yeah, me. Oh, thanks. So I'll tell you, this is a funny behind the scenes story. When we were filming the Redneck Rock and Roll video,
mm-hmm.
When you listen to the footage back, you can hear the cameraman talking while you can hear what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah?
Behind the camera. Because, the track's rolling, the song's playing on a sound system, but you can still hear the sound man behind the camera, because the microphone's right there. And if you remember the scene in Cool Hand Luke when George Kennedy and Paul Newman and the whole row of chain gang were eyeballing the girl who was washing that car, the dialogue was hysterical. It was great dialogue. At one point, I think George Kennedy says, "Oh, Lord, whatever I done wrong, please just don't strike me blind for another 2 or 3 minutes." And so our cameraman, the dialogue, I wish we could have featured it. It was so good, but we had to play a song. The dialogue from our cameraman was as good as the dang movie.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
It was funny, yeah.
Well, people are going to have to listen for that then.
Maybe we'll drop that at some point, right?
Yeah. Just kind of fade out the music just a tad and let the guy there come through. Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
listen, I think we're going to have to take a quick break here. And what I'd like to do is take a break. If you can hang in there for just a few more minutes and come back and talk a little bit about, what you have in store and what's upcoming and stuff. But we got to take a break. When we come back, though, I want to play that Sea of Lights song. Now, you guys need to remember, this is the title track of the album. It's got 10 songs on it. You guys can find it on the electronic medias, the Spotify and all that kind of stuff. Find more information about that through BooRayMusic.com. That's Boo Ray's website. And we'll talk a little bit more about the connectivity and stuff and how they can reach out to you when we come back. But you guys need to check this out. And remember, this album, if you like it, it's also going to come out in vinyl. You want to be looking for that, too. But, Boo Ray, can you hang in there for just a minute or two? We're going to take a quick break and come back with your song.
Absolutely, Casey. I'm enjoying hanging with you.
All right. Well, we'll be back with more Boo Ray, outlaw country expert. Got some great music on this. Nice diversity on this album, too. The album is called Sea of Lights, and we're going to come back with that tune in just a minute, so don't go anywhere. It's more wall-to-wall country right here on Penn's Peak Radio with Boo Ray in just a minute. And we're back. Just had the honor of listening to Boo Ray's title track from his brand new 5th album that's out there. Good old-fashioned outlaw country, a little something called Sea of Lights. Very soulful, very deep. Even has a little couple of dark moments in there, speaking to the soul, speaking to people. I'm sure that particular tune has a lot of connectivity. You know, you have some other ones out there just fun, beer drinking, driving down the road songs. But that one there takes you to a whole nother place, Boo Ray.
I appreciate it, Casey. Thank you. That song's had great reach for us. It just, we're not trying to put anything on. We're making real music that comes out of us.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Now, I think one of the things that people need to know, and sometimes artists fall into this, they'll make an album, and all of a sudden, you listen to the first song, and it's great, and then you listen to the second song, and it's okay, that's good. And by the third or fourth or fifth song, you're sitting there going, man, all these songs they're kind of sounding the same. They're all kind, it's their music, and it's really, not really identified as individual tunes. This album doesn't have that problem. This album, every tune is different. Every tune's got kind of its own little life. And one of the other songs that I'd like to feature at the end of our interview here, Boo Ray, is that Bad News Travels Fast. That's a fun song. It's fast. It's a great video. Tell us a little bit more about that one. Is that one of your own?
It is. I wrote that song with Colin Linden. He's a great Canadian resonator slide guitar player. He was a protege of Howlin' Wolf, and Colin is T-Bone Burnett's right-hand man. And I was up in Nashville on songwriting appointments, and just happened to be lucky enough to get scheduled to write with Colin. And I had that song kind of, mostly worked up, and Colin finished it with me. And I've been closing my set. I've been closing my live set with that song every night since I wrote it with Colin in 2009.
Now that one is the video that you guys are just basically sitting around a campfire and you're just playing. And
that's right.
And it's got that.
Live video.
Yeah, that's the one that I just love it. It's got that bluegrass feel to it. It's just everybody can just join in, sit down, pull out a guitar and just start playing along. I mean, I love that one. It's very simple, but it's a great, fun song. I really do like it.
Thank you, Casey. I'm glad you dig it. That song's been important to me. I close every night with it,
And, and I think there's something to be said for simplicity when it comes to music and when it comes to videos. You have those videos where they tell a story and you got to kind of pay attention. It's like a little short movie and stuff. But this one, you can just sit there. You can smell the fire. You can hear the wood crackling. You're getting out the old marshmallows and chocolate bar, and you guys are just having fun, playing a great tune, and it's a great song, a nice bluegrass feel, sitting in, playing there, just picking away on a nice evening. Simplicity sometimes speaks way more than having a complicated scene and a complicated tune.
I'm with you. I tell you, thank you. I'm glad you dig it, and that's something that matters to me. The guys that I consider, the guys that I'm trying to be like, they write simple songs. Billy Joe Shaver,
Mm-hmm.
Levon Helms, Leon Russell. That's the kind of guys I want to be like. Don Williams, Eddie Rabbitt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So tell me this. Now, this album is out, and you got some videos out there for it. You got these 10 songs out there. What is there a new project you're working on, or are you guys focusing on really just getting this one out there? What's in the near future for Boo Ray and the band?
Sure. Well, we are wide open right now. The iron's hot, and we're hitting the anvil. So we've got a Sea of Lights coming out on vinyl, and then we've got a new record that we're super excited about. It's very Jerry Reed sounding, and it will come out early in the new year. It's a another full-length record recorded with Noah Shane, straight to tape, and then also I just struck out on these series of collaborations with friends of mine, and we're doing A-side, B-side singles. They're all going to come out on 7-inch. And so we're doing cover songs. Like me and some friends are getting together and we're writing a song, and that's the A-side single, and then we do a cover, and that's the B-side. That's the B-side,
Mm-hmm.
So that'll all be coming out too.
Well, it sounds like you're a busy guy and you got a lot going on. And just so you know, if you are ever traveling through here again, or you got some new information or new news, just have Zach get back in touch with me. All my artists are always welcome back on the show, and even one step forward again. If you're ever back into the area of Northeast PA, look me up and come on into the studios. We'd love to have you in for a quick impromptu. That'd be awesome.
Thanks, Casey. I appreciate that. I'm going to take you up on that.
Well, anytime. You guys just let me know. So I'm going to play that Bad News Travels Fast because that's one of my favorites off the album. Right after we say goodbye with you guys. Another tune we're going to play at the end of my show. Now, keep in mind, you want to let your fans know that this whole show gets recorded and is going to be played back this coming Sunday. So if they missed it or if they want to hear the tunes, listen in Sunday morning to PennSpeakRadio.com on your iPhone, your Android device, however you can listen to it. And this whole thing will re-air. So at the end of my show, I am going to play that redneck rock and roll tune.
Cool.
That way they can get a feel for that, because, again, it's got a different feel. Remind everybody to check out your website at booraymusic.com. Make sure they check out. Are you guys big in the social medias?
Yeah, we're in all the usual places. We're pretty much everywhere except Snapchat, I think, at this point.
Okay, good. Well, you'll be getting notifications of when this interview will re-air and stuff. You can go ahead and share it to your fans.
Yeah, we'll make sure and share it with everybody. Hey, I wouldn't mind bragging on our band right here on this Sea of Lights record. So on this the whole record, when you hear Bad News Travels Fast here, that's Steve Ferroni from Tom Petty's band on drums.
Okay.
And that's Paul Hill on bass from Christina Aguilera and Alicia Keys' band.
Wow.
And then that's Saul Philcox on guitar. He's out with Wheeler Walker Jr. right now. He's a favorite friend and super hot guitar picker. And a couple of my good buddies, Todd and Troy Gardner on backup vocals, and Dallas Cruz, the great California keys player that's playing on that. So,
boy, you got some big guns there.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of, and we're just all pals, and we finally had time to make the darn record,
Yeah, nice. Well, it's a great sounding record, great sounding songs, nice mix of music. Anything else before I cut you loose, Boo Ray, you want to know your fans about, and before we cut you loose and play that Bad News Travels Fast tune for you?
Just appreciate y'all a bunch, and holler.
Okay.
Holler at you anytime, yeah.
All right, there you go. So good information there from Boo Ray. Remember, these guys are on fire. They're going to have a whole nother album out, coming out early next year. Check them out. If you are a outlaw country, bluegrass, great sound, classic sound kind of fan, These guys have their own thing going on, and you want to check them out. This fifth album is amazing. It's called Sea of Lights, with the title track that's also involved within the album. 10 tunes on it. You want to check it all out. Find these guys on all the social medias and find information and follow them on their website at booraymusic.com. We're going to be back with another one of their tunes with Boo Ray and the guys. Bad News Travels Fast. And Boo Ray, again, doors are always open. Hope to see you soon, my man, and keep in touch when you got something new and exciting going on.
Hey, Casey, you rock. Appreciate your bunch.
All right, no problem, big man, and we'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Thank you much.